Hey guys, just wanted to make a little video about my skin condition that I now have. After living with Saif Ul-Haq back at 3459 North Apache Court in Chandler, Arizona, um, I would wake up with, small holes on my face and big like pustules, and I thought it was acne because, I would assume, oh, maybe I'm cooking with more oil than usual. I mean, it's not unusual for me to get acne, but as it turns out, he was actually injecting needles in my face. He was, putting needles in my face and injecting like suture string, like surgical string, and that string was soaked in what apparently is some sort of fungus culture. So it's like soaked in spores, and he used that to put in my face, and this side of my cheek in particular, um, I have had, the biggest lump here, and I pulled out this really long white string, and it was folded, in just back and forth. It came out like a zigzag, and so I could tell it was artificial, and I could tell it was put there. It's not some sort of hyphae from fungus, it's not some sort of mycelium, but, and later on when I had the freedom to tell Viola Ul-Haq that we were not in a relationship because of torture like this and other things they would do to my face. We're talking scratches and other deposits of fungus and string. And this is a skin condition that I got after living with him, and I have it right here as well. Right here I pulled out a very long string as well, and this is a condition that I got after living with him. And his girlfriend, his wife, who really tried hard to pretend to be my girlfriend because she felt like maybe she could be entitled to half of my security clearance compensation if she pretended to be my girlfriend. She also was involved, and I have more lesions on my neck, same kind of thing, same kind of actions done by her to say, oh, well, if you're going to be gone from my life, then I'm going to make sure you get gonorrhea. And then she, proceeded to scratch up my face. And all of this happened in my sleep while I was anesthetized. And so when people ask me, Mo, why are you going to shoot Saif Ul-Haq? It's because he keeps shooting me. He keeps doing things like this to me. He keeps, him and Saiaf, Abdallah keep having people rape me. So on and so forth. They threaten my life with loaded firearms if I don't do as they say. And so it's things like this. And I think the world should know that I presently have a skin condition, not because I don't take care of myself, not because I have some sort of STD from things that I do or whatever. I live a pretty simple life right now. The reason I have this really bad skin condition is because Saiaf Abdallah and his wife went ahead and injected strings that were effectively a substrate for fungus to grow on, and they soaked those strings in spores, and they bragged to me about it. They said, this is what happens when you don't do what we tell you. This is what happens when you don't give us your money. We do things like this. And so this is currently the condition of my face. When I've been to hospitals to get treated for my condition, when I go to clinics to be treated for my condition, the doctor that turns up is actually General Tersini. She got her nurse practitioner license from some overseas paper mill, mail order company, and she gets to act as a nurse. And she basically kept saying, oh no, it's bacterial, and she keeps prescribing me antibacterial medication, and every time that antibacterial medication does not do the trick, I let her know as much, and the next time I go to some other doctor's office, she turns up again and prescribes me another antibacterial. And she makes sure to prescribe things that would make my skin ultra sensitive to sunlight, or will stain my clothes or whatnot, because she tries to do as much damage as possible Because just like Saif Ul-Haq, General Tersini is involved in robbing me of my security clearance compensation. As a matter of fact, her son, Ethan Tersini, lives right above me right now. He's always stomping around up there. He rappels down and tried to like look through my window. I get it. There's a lot of money on the line that they think they can get away with robbing me of. But I just think I should report all of this. So every time I go to a doctor's office, a dermatology clinic, anything, they refuse to consider the fact that I show them evidence that it is fungal. And so I pull out a string, and it's a hyphae. We're talking like a very thin, small strand that grows rapidly. And they're kind of attached to the hair follicle and the hair itself, right? And so I pull that out. I say, look, we're looking at physical evidence of this and that. General Tersini is like, too bad. I think it's bacterial. And so, obviously she's a gigantic cunt, and she, uses her military powers to ruin lives. And she's ruining my life right now because she wants to rob me of my security clearance compensation. And her son is trying to ruin my life because he knows that his mother, General Tersini, the boy being Ethan Tersini, he knows that his mother is covering up a gigantic sexual assault that happened on base, a rape. It happened at a black site, a torture facility. It's not even a sanctioned site. They just use their powers to send me over there and pretend it's some sort of torture training, when in reality they're trying to build a record of being interned at a mental health facility. Now this place is called Southwest Behavioral Health. Saif Ul-Haq's family is involved with that. They also run Southwest Airlines and brag about that. And they use that as leverage and power to screw me over as well. And so I just wanted to let y'all know what's going on and why I have a skin condition and why I have to resort to home remedies and attempts at mediating the issue instead of being able to get, some sort of antifungal pills and, have my blood tested, weekly. Because it's strong stuff, but I need strong stuff. I mean, you've seen how bad it is, and you know very well the people involved in covering it up and causing the issue even further. Saiaf Abdallah and his wife and Viola Ul-Haq. Saiaf Abdullah's wife is an F-16 pilot. She's very well acquainted with General Tersini, as is Saiaf Abdallah. She basically pushed me out of the military despite my enlistment and passed me on to Saiaf Abdallah so that he could process and investigate my security clearance. But the fact of the matter is that she was just pushing me off to somebody that could attempt to use their friendship as some sort of way to finagle the money out of me. Pretend we're buddy-buddy, and then he sends me to mental health facilities that his family runs, including CBI. His Saiaf Abdullah's brother, Ahmed Abdallah, was running that place. I let them know about my skin condition. They refused to help. As a matter of fact, over at CBI, Community Bridges Incorporated, where I was arrested by my sister, Monthan, wearing a police uniform, and sent there, the person that kept extending my stay, despite the fact that I was not seen by a doctor, despite the fact that my evaluations kept coming back clean, and they're like, there's nothing wrong with him, he's not a danger to himself, he's not a danger to others, why is he even here? Despite all of that being the information that came back, when I would report in to talk to my doctor or my nurse, what they would tell me, and that person, of course, was General Tersini, right? General Tersini is the person that reported in, and she, of course, said, we're going to keep extending your stay, and the people running that facility were other people that fly aircraft down at Davis Monthan Air Force Base. We're talking Garrett Myers, we're talking Muhammad Hassan, we're talking, folks like Ahmed Abdallah. He was also acting as a nurse tech over there. So, it's all corruption and it's all fraudulent. I personally spoke to President Biden about this. I had a direct line with him, and to this day, he has not acted to work on the fact that my Yankee white security clearance compensation is being robbed from me. I contact the White House regularly. I send them emails about the issues that I'm having, and they have not been very helpful. Viola Ul-Haq, her father is a general, and she is the wife of Saif Ul-Haq. Saif Ul-Haq is a homosexual, and as is Saiaf Abdallah. They pretend not to be because they pretend to be involved with the Muslim community. They pretend to be involved with the Muslim community because it is how they get their positions of power. It is how they get a lot of their money. And so yeah, that's just a little brief about my skin condition. I regularly work towards fixing it. Saif Ul-Haq, who is currently living as my roommate, and he goes by the name Bao. He just kept bragging about how he's gonna tell people that I smoke meth or whatever, but I don't. And and so that's that. I think that does it for this video. Thanks for tuning in to my little vlog documentary about the abuse and theft of Yankee white security clearances by folks that work in a classified setting who are able to hide from the world how they embezzle hundreds of billions of dollars in taxpayer dollars and defense coffers. For my singular security clearance, they feel that they can torture me, rape me, intentionally cause me infectious diseases by injecting things in me while I'm asleep. And at the end of all that, when it doesn't work out and I report them to a judge and get restraining orders for what they've done to me, they go ahead and, out of desperation, point loaded firearms at me and say, "Hey, we're gonna tell people you do meth because of what we did to your face." And I think that does it for this video. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it.